Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PSN review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Eat Them, which if you've never played it before, it's basically like a rampage game. It's one of those I'd mainly have to show it off, especially because there's a load of different modes. It's not just a mindless census destroy everything. You can play the game single player, you can play the game multiplayer, it's up to 4 people on the same console. No idea what's happening with online. When I researched the game, it said it wasn't 4 player on the same console, but was online. Then when we've got it, there's no online. So maybe it's DLC planned later, but pushing on. High scores, obviously you can view your high scores. Monster Labs, where you create monsters, I will show that off a bit later because it's one of the best parts about the game. Options are bare bones minimum. You can view your controls, but you can't actually customize them or anything, but you kind of don't need to because they're done well and they make sense. Like right arm attacks, R buttons, left arm attacks, L buttons. You can invert your axes, you can put advanced colours on, which is to do with the monster creation. So that's what I mean. Despite having about 15 options there, they're actually very basic. When you go into the game, you can choose single player or multiplayer, and one of the best things about it is your progress can be tracked throughout both. So if you've got 3 mates round to start the game, you beat the first 3 comics, you want to continue, they all sort off, well, you can do. You can go straight where you were up to, and vice versa. If you're playing single player and your mates come round and want to join in, you can go straight to where you're up to. There's loads of different missions on the game. As I say, it's not just mindless destruction, but as mindless destruction is rather fun, I'm going to start with some mindless destruction. I'll be playing as one of the monsters I've created, whereas my brother over there will be playing as one of the standard monsters, because you do get, I think, 6 standard monsters to start you off with, and it's a case of just building them, and, well, they're there like to get you into the game straight away, because as I say, the most part is you want to build for speed or build for power, because depending on your objective, it depends on what you want, and you can get 3 medals as you can see there, and depending on what medal you get, depends on what unlockable parts you get for the monsters. One of the quite annoying things with the game is pretty much what you see straight away, because you probably noticed my monster was red and black and now he's just all red. For some reason on the multiplayer you are automatically colour coded depending on your player, and it's just one of those, I don't understand why it's there, because unless all 4 of you decide to make blue monsters, which let's be honest, who'd be stupid enough to do that, then there's not going to be a problem, especially because my monster was black and red and my brother's monster was yellow, so quite a difference there. But anyway, that is a minor annoyance, and it's just one of those that I always have to just look where I actually am to see where I need to start, because when you're getting shot at, it's quite important, because you might have noticed we're getting shot at all the time. We've got energy bars, and your energy bar constantly drains because it's also your power bar, because despite being monsters, you're also kind of robots, and you have to eat people to regenerate power, and using special moves uses power, so you can fire mortars, you can fire machine guns, flamethrowers, just things like that. And it's again part of the building your monster. You have to build with what you would prefer, so you can get a nice beastie scream which terrifies everyone in the immediate area. So if you're getting shot at like hell, you can instead eat them straight away, or you can just build for pure raw smashing power, or you can build with good specials like being able to fire missiles. You can give yourself more energy, you can give yourself less energy, you can build for speed because there's races on the game as well, and obviously you want a fast monster to do a checkpoint race. But you've pretty much seen all there is about mindless destruction. One thing that there is to be wary of is that you can actually kill each other. So if you've got someone in your party who's a bit of a prick and wants to just ruin things for everyone else, they can go up to you and kick the crap out of you and kill you. However, on a lot of levels, you can just start again and give yourself a full energy bar. So it's not that much of a hindrance, it's just only on certain levels that it is. So this is the checkpoint race as I was on about, and basically it comes up where your next one is and where the one after that is. So the green arrow's the one where you're heading to, and the yellow arrow's the one right after that. So it's quite nice to have, because it means that you can, well, at least see which path to take, I suppose. However, there's that much happening on the screen, and especially on multiplayer, that viewing the arrows and the markers is actually quite hard. And as I see it, it's definitely easier on single player, because when I've actually done the 2-player race, it took me about 3.5 minutes to finish. My brother finished with 10 seconds to spare, and I'd imagine on 4-player it'd just be impossible, especially with getting in each other's way, because the amount of times I crashed into my brother, and instead of hitting the checkpoint, I hit him. It just, it is quite annoying, and not all of the game seems to have been made with multiplayer in mind, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, you can still try, I suppose. Hell, if it's one of those, you might be better at teamwork than me and my brother are, so you know. Anyway, the races, as you can see, are pretty boring after a while. There's not much to show off. So, let's go on to one of the themed missions where, for example, I have to rescue prisoners. So this is the prison break mission, and as you imagine, I basically have to smash a prison and then I have to escort the prisoners to the end of the level. You have to just basically kill the police and the army and things like that. There's also missions where you have to destroy specific objects, which are just marked by a green arrow. There's also survival, where the whole point is you have to live for as long as you possibly can do. And there's also story cutscenes, which are done really well. The whole game, to be fair, is done really well and looks fantastic because of the cell shading. But if you're not enjoying them, you can always just skip them. The game also sounds fantastic, so I might as well shut up for a bit, let you listen to the music before I cut into, well, the monster creation. So that was a bit of the music, and, well, this is the Monster Creation Lab. I don't particularly know how many parts there are on the game. All I know is that they said that there were up to 5 million combinations of different monsters. So there should be plenty to do here, especially because the main game's also got a ton of missions per comic. There's a couple comics that only have one mission, and they're the themed ones like the Prison Break, but for the most part you've got like 6-7 missions, so pretty lengthy game. So anyway then, this is obviously creating a monster. You choose your head first, and you've got your stats in the top left all the time, so you know what's getting more fear, what's getting you more power, things like that. You choose each individual arm, and not all the time can you actually have the same arm, because I've got this hammer arm here for the left arm, and I had to actually unlock the right version of it about 3 or 4 missions later. So it's just a case of mixing and matching and messing around, seeing which type of monster you would rather have. A fast one, a slow one, one that can jump high, or one that's got more powers and like special abilities, or ones that are just pure raw punching power. Just things like that, really. And then, once you've done that, you create its name. So this one's being called Nothing, because I can't be bothered. And then you go to the colour customization, which is where advanced colours comes into it. Because if you are the most anal person on the planet, and even then some, I consider myself to be quite anal. I don't think I've ever been this anal, because you can customise every single part separately. All parts, all 3 colours, and it just takes forever and a day. So personally, I stick to the basic colours, so that then that way, all I have to do is choose 3, and the whole monster's done for me there. Simple. Easy, sorted. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. You might have noticed I didn't score the game. Well, that's because it's a matter of personal opinion, and yours may very well differ from my own. I'm just here to show you a bit about the game. If you like it or not, well, that's up to you. If you don't like it, or you do like it, feel free to comment. Also, if I haven't answered any of your questions that you may have had, I might have forgot something, or it might just be something obscure. Again, feel free to comment, ask, always willing to help out. Otherwise, if you don't like commenting on YouTube, head over to www.vc-forums.com, where you can chat with me and a bunch of other lads who love the VC, the WiiWare, and hell, even a lot of other systems. We cater to pretty much everything. You can just go there, have a chat about a game, ask about some games, etc. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.